Hello everyone, and welcome back to Optimize Evony. I wanted to do a quick video today to explain what all came out in the new version. They kind of dropped a ton on us all at once. I'm gonna basically walk through what it all is, what's worth it, what's not, and what's kind of new. So they sent out this mail. What's new in 4.31.0, which is the version who keeps up with the version these days. But um, so let's kind of look at what some of the main things are that are changing. They added some new people to General Ascension. Um, Not super important. These look like all kind of not very great generals. The only one that might be worth ascending here is Nut the Great, which if we go and look at it real quick, I think he's in Europe. Let me see if I can find him quick. Nut the Great. And looks like as usual they're having some glitches. So as of when I'm filming this, you can't actually tap on the Ascension. He shows as red for Awaken, but you can't really see what he is. The other person that was potentially going to be useful ascended was Bibers, but if you look at his ascension, really not useful there. Just like monster attack and stuff like that. So not really worth even looking at. The rest of the people are not super great. If you have these people as your main generals, there's better people in the tavern you can probably get. I would not recommend ascending any of those people except for maybe Nut the Great when we can see his skill. So then they had teased this alliance skill before they had released it, but then rolled it back and whatnot. Uh, but they finally are actually releasing it. It looks like it's official. It's in the mail. Whatever. And so basically, there's three alliance skills right now that you can use to boost things like attack, training speed, double drop rate, and stuff like that. And it looks like only R5 and R4s can activate the skills, but you have to research it. So let's look at what it actually is. So if you go into Alliance Science here, there's now an Alliance Science tab and an Alliance Skill tab. And so Alliance Science is the same exact stuff that you've had before. And then the new thing is the Alliance skill. And the Alliance skill is basically you still have to donate to it, and then you can actually activate it once it's kind of been donated to, if you have all of the requirements. So let's kind of look into the different requirements here. So Mighty Force is increase Alliance members double item drop rate from monsters by 8%, and you can activate this for 30 minutes, but it has a cooldown of 72 hours. So 3 days, every 3 days you can activate this for 30 minutes. So it's cool, but it's not super useful. And then yeah, you can donate here to help unlock it and stuff like that. It does look like they have to go to level 3. You need these requirements, and we don't have Alliance Help Boost level 8. It looks like, so we would have to go and do that before we would go be able to go to level 3. But this is useful. I think this is probably going to be most useful for Ymir days, or if they release any other really good bosses that you really want to optimize your resources or your tactic scrolls, or whatever else comes out in any new bosses. And so you would basically want to find a whole bunch of bosses, activate the skill, and then you would want to, set and kill as many bosses within that 30 minutes as you can. So if you look at this plus, you actually get to see what the level skills actually do. And so level 1 skill is 5% double drop boost for 30 minutes still, and then a 3-day cooldown. Level 2, which is what we have right now, is an 8% boost for 30 minutes. The activating cooldown are the same for all of them. And then level 3 is 10% boost. So it's worth it. But yeah, probably only worth it for Ymer days and maybe one other day a week. Because if you do it every 3 days, you're going to be able to do it, I don't know, maybe one Viking day or, one Hider day and then a Ymer day, depending on how you kind of match up the cooldown days. So that's kind of cool. Then the next one is United Strength, which increases alliance members' training speed by 10%. So this is going to be really useful when it's like troop training day, and it's again an activation time of 30 minutes, cooldown 72 hours, 3 days again. This one for us is at level 1. If you get it to the higher levels, it's 20% at level 2 or 30% at level 3, and still the same activation of for 30 minutes and cooldown of 3 days. Basically, this means that everyone should do their training at the same time. If you're short on speed, so that you can activate this and actually uh, increase your training speed. And yeah, these are kind of the what's required to get to level 2. Uh, we haven't really invested in the trap building speed. It's only at level 5, I think, or level 4 even. Yeah, level 4. So uh, to upgrade this, we would have to, get it to a higher level. So uh, it's yeah, maybe worth doing eventually. And then the last one is fruitful results. So this increases troop attack by 10%, and it has an activation time of 60 minutes with a cooldown of 144 hours. I think this is maybe 6 days. And so uh, this one's great. Anything that gives you additional buffs is awesome. I'm assuming this will probably be used for like BOC, probably if you're invested in battlefields, probably worth using for a battlefield because it'll give you extra buffs there and stuff like that. We're at level 2 right now. To get to level 3, we need to upgrade ground troop attack once more, and we're currently working on that, I think. But let's look at, okay, level 1 is 5%, level 2 is 10%, and then level 3 is 15%. So an extra 15% troop attack is great. So I would maybe recommend doing this for like a world boss run right before going into Battlefield or something like that. That way, everyone can kind of maximize their buffs here. But yeah, so these are the alliance skills. It's kind of cool. Um, they've kind of moved towards more of this activating stage where like similar to the dragon talents, you have to kind of choose and optimize when you want to activate these things because they have long cooldowns, and so it can't be active all the time. So kind of cool. We'll see how kind of it plays out. Looks like it's pretty simple. I think basically how you have to do it is you have to donate uh, to like the 16,000, and then you can activate it for that activation time. But we'll see. This just came out, so I'm not 100% sure how it works either. See if it says anything here. Yeah, so Alliance members can donate to an Alliance skill after its cooldown and get the chance to activate it again. So yeah, you have to you have to basically donate to it to get be allowed to activate it. So that's cool. Let's look at what's next. The optimization of the Dragoncliff interface, not super important there. Basically, they just changed some stuff in here where if you're, for example, um, for the talents, you can kind of see what this is, and you can see what. Oh, Maybe mine isn't activated yet because I think you're supposed to be able to see what those are. You can certainly see these in the active skills here. You can see what these things are. But yeah, I don't know if they improve something in addition to that. The other thing that they unlocked with this, so there's actually something really big that I'll talk about a little bit later. But I wanted to talk quickly about the new general that came out. Looks like a really solid sub general, maybe one of the best that there is at this point, because he reduces the enemy troop range troop attack by 35% and ground troop and mount troop HP by 10%. So this is basically, in my opinion, an upgraded Andrew Jackson. So instead of 20% and uh, and 20% ground or mount troop HP, 20% range troop attack, and 20% mount troop HP, he's doing 35% range troop attack and 10% ground troop and mount troop HP. So a little bit less on the mount HP, but the range troop attack debuff is great. This is something that people are really struggling with these days, is trying to max debuff these crazy archer buffs. I mean, in All Stars, I got hit with 2,400 archer buffs on a rally, 50 million rally. Like, there's just, if you're not max debuffing that, you're really gonna struggle there. But let's look at the Ascension. Of course, he comes already to be ascended. They want people to spend and get many copies of him. So let's look at it. Enemy ground troop and mount troop defense and HP debuff. That's great. That's basically the same thing as Andrew Jackson. Number or star 7 is enemy range troop and siege machine attack minus 10. That's great. Most of the other debuff generals don't have range troop and siege machine attack that far up in the ascension. Then 3 is all enemy troop defense minus 15%, and then death to survival in the subcity 10%. The fourth one is enemy ground troop and mount troop defense and HP, 15% for defense and 20% for HP. That's great. Mount troop HP is always something that you want to debuff, especially for archer solos and stuff like that. And then the last ascension is great. Enemy range troop and siege machine attack and HP. And this HP is huge because there's not a lot of good ways to debuff siege HP, but it looks like they are giving you this option here. So 25% debuffing siege HP. So I imagine a lot of the heavy coiners are going to use this, and then they're going to put this in their sub and use that to make their siege, big siege solos or whatnot, a lot more effective because they're going to be able to debuff a lot more. And then their specialties, similar to a lot of the subcities, they have snipe as the second skill, negative 10% enemy troop attack. That's great. And then enemy ground troop and mount troop HP minus 10% and enemy range troop attack minus 30% in the final skill. So overall, I think this is really the most solid sub general in the game right now, debuff general in the game. I'm sure they're going to continue to release debuff ascended debuff generals. So we'll see. He's not the end all be all, of course, but he is right now a very, very good pickup if you happen to get him. So yeah, as I kind of teased a little bit earlier in the video, the most important thing that was released this uh, this event is what's called the Glory Subordinate City Expansion Order, and basically what this allows you to do is to get one more subcity slot. They've been, pumping out subcities and stuff like that, and so people are like, okay, well, we need another slot. I have, you know, I'm sure all the coiners have, historic subs and, gold subs filled up, and they're like, well, I want to keep spending. Well, I don't know if they want to keep spending, but I'm I'm going to win more of these good subs. I want to be able to use them and actually make them effective. And so they're allowing you to have go up to 10 sub slots with this Glory Subordinate City expansion order. And so this is a new item in the game, basically to allow you to go from 9 subs or however many subs you had to 10 to one more than that. If you're Archduke or Regent, then that goes from 9 to 10. And so that's a huge deal in terms of your ability to add debuff. So that's another full sub of debuff gear, which is going to add your range troop attack debuff, all of your attack debuffs, and any of the other debuffs that you need kind of coming from that. So that's going to be huge. And in addition to that, there's some skills like, for example, the subordinate city attack that has this multiplier 4% times each subcity. So if that goes from 9 to 10, that goes from 36 to 40. So an extra 4%, not huge, but it helps. Then each subordinate city can boost troop HP another 2%. There's lots of these things. Another 2% here for troop defense. So everything kind of scales based on, or there's a lot of things that scale based on subs, and so the main thing is probably that debuff gear, but there's a lot of good things that can come from that subs. So let's look at how you actually get it. And right now they're only giving one option to get it, and they're basically making everyone coin their butts off to try and get this because there is only one Glory Subordinate City expansion scroll in all of all every in all servers across all servers per uh, auction event. So that means that everybody in however many 1,050, 1,100 servers, whatever it is now, is trying to get this one item because this is going to allow them to get an extra subsidy. So I imagine this is going to go for, 50 million gems at the minimum, probably 100 million or even more for the first one, because you're going to have people like, you know, super mega coiners, Sir Philip, Rhythm, whoever basically has the most number of gems is going to try and get this because it's going to give them uh, well, I mean, at that level, let's be realistic. It's a slight advantage. It's not even a massive advantage at that point, but it still is an advantage, and they're only giving one of these per event. So they're kind of doubling down on increasing this kind of pay to win gap. And I don't really like this. I would prefer that it's something that you can earn. I would have preferred that this was just automatically unlocked if you got to Regent, for example, because all of the other ranks have a uh, have a subslot capacity. So if we go to the rank detail, basically this one has if you're at Regent, that means that you have a subsidy capacity of 6, but that's the exact same as Archduke. So there's no real reason besides, some of the other things like, yeah, you get a little bit more healing speed, you get a little bit more training speed, march speed, whatnot, but like that's not super important. The extra subsidies are what people typically level up or rank up for. And so I was hoping that they were going to release it for Regent. I'm not actually Regent, but I would probably, work my butt off to get to Regent if they had released an extra subsidy slot for that because it is going to impact the game. So I really don't like that they're only releasing it in the auction house. That's not super great. But you know, I guess what can you do? I think a lot of basically nobody but the super coiners are going to get this extra sub slot for a long time because they talk about this in the actual mail. Let's see. I talk about this in the mail. Basically, it can only be unlocked once, so you can't just keep adding sub slots because that would be broken. But who's to say they won't add more in the future? But whatever. So each one that you get additional can be converted into basically an an epic subordinate city, it seems like. So I don't see anyone doing that. That seems kind of, absurd that you would spend millions of gems just to get a chance at, some gold sub-city. You could get a like an Arabia or something that's not particularly useful for all of those gems. So I don't think anyone's going to do that, but you can. The main thing is you can only have one, so you can only go to a max of 10 subs there. Yeah, so that's kind of the big thing that was released. There is a new castle. Let's look at the castle. It's, typical castle. It's in the collection here, and it's called the Checkmate King and Queen. So increase hospital capacity by 10% by owning, and then if you activate, it gives you in-city ground troop buffs for the king one, and for the queen one, it gives you in-city range buffs. So I would assume if you're going to go for this castle, you're probably going to go for the king one. The in-city ground is way more important, in my opinion, than the in-city range buffs. So if I were going to do it, I would get the king version of this castle, but I'm not going to do it, so it doesn't really matter for me. And then there's one other piece that they released. There is no Taishes wheel. I was really bummed when I saw that. There is a new wheel, random item thing. It's kind of similar to the Astrolabe one, except for it's basically a merger of the Astrolabe and the Taishes wheel, where you can get free spins, obviously capped per day, but you can also get, pay for these spins. So this is kind of the paying part. Let me look at the actual event. Basically, this seems like the main thing is to actually get Blood of Ares. So you can basically get up to 50 coins for free each day. I think 10 from farming, and then 40 from bosses. Let's double check that. Um, they do actually give you the chance breakdown. Of course, it's very low to get the things that you actually want. 0.2% chance to get Blood of Ares 1,000. And this is Blood of Ares. Blood of Ares is super important, but I mean, really, you can get it from SVS. You can get it like a few per day for free. This is not, in my opinion, this is not really worth spending any money on. Just take what they'll give you for free and move on. It's not worth spending to get a couple extra, blood of Ares, especially because if you're spending, you're already going to be, uh, you're already going to have, more blood of Ares. So, if you look at the package, this package does not even come with blood of Ares unless I'm missing it. So, you could just buy a package that has blood of Ares and, go do away with this chance of getting blood of Ares. So just get the free ones, uh, 10 from farming and 40 from monsters every day, and try your luck. But beyond that, not super important. Hopefully, they will be bringing back the Taishes wheel in a future event. They seem to have completely forgotten about giving any of the Civ gear out for free, but they keep adding more. And so that's kind of the last update for this this new update, I think, is that there's a new, of course there's a new Civ gear set. It's called the Augustus set, and it has uh, set bonuses of an enemy troop attack minus 10%, at 2, march size capacity at 4, and all troops attack at 6. And then the full set is all troop attack 10%. Yeah, I don't know. I, in my opinion, people shouldn't be buying this new Civ gear because it's just basically incentivizing them to continue to put out new Civ gear. But if you miss some of the earlier stuff, if you needed to unlock something, or if you have the money to spend on it, go for it. I'm not gonna go for it, but yeah, for this one they unlock the bracers and then the scepter, which the bracers at the 5-star is going to be all troops attack 15%, enemy troop defense minus 20%, enemy ground troop HP minus 20%, and then march size capacity. Not amazing buffs there. It's pretty similar to some of the other Civ gear. I don't even know what I would put that on. The mount troop defense and ground troop HP aren't particularly difficult debuffs to get, so I don't think I would put it in a sub. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of meh. Maybe you would use it as like a reinforcing on a reinforcing gen or something like that. But then the last one, or the other one that they're releasing, I'm assuming this is at the kind of the end of the pack, the 10th level of the pack of the cake or whatever it is now. This is the Augustus Scepter. This is all troop attack 25%, enemy range troop attack 25%, enemy ground troop attack defense 20%, enemy mount troop HP 20%. So again, not there's debuffs, but honestly, not enough that I would consider even switching out any arcade gear in my sub for it, because 25 troop attack, it's not the best. I think the other one is 40%. So for range troop attack, yeah, you get the ground troop defense and the mount troop HP, but overall, it's not really something that I would get excited about. And it's just absurdly expensive. So if you get it, great. I don't know what you're going to use it for. Maybe there's going to be just some kind of utilitarian general that you're going to use for all troop types for reinforcing, or something like that, where you're trying to do a mix of something. But I can't really see a great use for it, so I'm not going to be getting that. And then I think that's the main thing. Of course, they sent out this. There's barbarians again. King's Party. Great. Oh, it's okay. Level 10. There's a hospital officer's robe scroll at level 8. So that's new, I think. But yeah, other than that, pretty much the same as every other event. Let's look at the scroll to see if they actually have it in here yet. I think it would be this one. This is the console's, okay. Hospital offer robe. Gives you healing speed 10% and increases the single time revived troops power during server war by 10%. Okay, great. If you get it because you are already spending for that, great. But not something that I would, go out of my way to spend for. I seem to be adding, more of these uh, duty officer, gear, which to me seems kind of weird. It was a matter of time before it happened, but yeah, not super happy that they're again putting this stuff as well behind a paywall. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the event. There's a lot of new stuff here. Um, it's yeah, it's kind of what you expected. The new subsidy slot, that's big, but they are severely restricting it. So I imagine at some point it's only going to be people who have that, that last subsidy unlock that are going to be, able to advance super far. So let's see if they eventually release it in a more reasonable way to the rest of us, or if they're going to kind of keep it like one every 2 weeks or one every event. It does seem like they're kind of doubling down on the auction house. I think they're seeing people spending a lot of gems, and because people are spending a lot of gems, that means that they are theoretically buying a lot of gems. So it, yeah, I like the auction house sometimes. I do tend to spend a decent amount of gems on it, but it does allow you to get things like VIP and stuff that you're not able to get without coining. So, yeah, that's the update. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if how you kind of feel about the new sub slot or any of the other things that were released, or if you're super excited about the that gear and you have some use for it that I was not able to see. But yeah, uh, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I'll see you in the next video.